up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, though, people? So many victories that we get to talk about, man. You talk about a perfect April in the D on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And the Red Wings, those slim playoff hopes, you know what? They're keeping themselves at least in the conversation. Those Pistons lock in a playoff spot. Not play-in, playoffs, man. And I can't wait.
Talking about playoffs?
We talking about playoffs, man. It's been so long to get to this point, man. And you know what? Those Detroit Tigers, man, all they do is win now, huh? Sweep.
Oh, yeah.
It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. We got that dude, Justin, up here on the desk with us, man. He was all over the place this weekend, including crushing content, as all of our social team, Nick Koloff, and so many more, man, this weekend. Wow, what a weekend, man. That dude, Justin, filling in for Flannel Sam, man, the vet of the squad, vet of the network. We can't wait to get him back. White Cloth Flannel,
man,
he might need some time to recover.
He need to recover. Shout out Flannel, the boy.
Mike, he
was
needs.
absolute on one on Friday. But so was Detroit this weekend. I don't think I've ever been to 4 games in a weekend where they win every single one of them.
Keep going then.
It was so awesome. And shout out to your sportsbook, was able to make some coin this weekend.
Okay.
I had a parlay on Riley Green hitting a homer on Friday. And so that was for a nice little 150. And then I hit for $100 last night with a Wings and Tigers parlay with Detroit, April in the D. So it was just a beautiful weekend, and they all won. It was just, it's so awesome. So many storylines. Me and KG were absolutely nerding out when we got in here. We had the Jackson Jobe start. Torque is back. Riley Green looks amazing. Kerry Carpenter's playing against lefties.
Hey, Sunday was the hobby game.
Chill.
This is absolutely crazy. And
He
you know
did
what,
work
man?
it.
Chat family, as always, you all are the most important part of the WUW Crew production.
Yes,
Let's
you
go
are.
on ahead and run up those likes on this multiple Victory Monday, including, you know what, even our college teams, man. There's been some news out there. I know JBSmooovv, he sent something to the group chat about his Michigan State Spartans. And about what? Something about cutting the check? Y'all on that CTC, huh?
Yeah, there's some breaking news over in East Lansing. Nothing major as it is right now, but just know that checks are being cut out in East Lansing right now to get out that NIL money to a couple players that they have a lot of interest in right now. So nothing's been announced officially, but just know that, you know, the ink is running on these checks right now.
And we wanted, you know, Word Manual to open up the pocketbooks of the NIL, bank. This is Michigan, so we already know this is going to be an unlimited supply, even though they're trying to put some types of rules in place on how to use it. But portal merchant, I'm embracing it. Dusty May, he's a portal merchant wizard. And we're going to talk about it, but first let me tell you guys what else is on the menu and introduce the rest of the cast and the crew today. Definitely going to talk about the Tigers and their sweep of the White Sox. It always feels good when you beat Chicago, especially when it's a sweep, man. Let's go Tigers. And then we're also going to talk about the things that we've been encouraged by. Since that sweep against the Dodgers, we all said that we saw a little bit of fight, and we wanted to see how they were going to do in these handle your business games. And they handled their business. We're going to also talk about these Red Wings, so it's a good thing we at least have that dude, Justin, here on the panel to school all the rest of his brothers here, man. So you're going to hold it down. I know you were pumped up, man. I saw the content all across Woodward Sports, man. So shout out to you for holding down, and you and Flannel for Woodward Wings. And then we're going to get into those Detroit Pistons who clinched the playoff spot on Friday. They did lose to the Grizzlies in Cade Cunningham's first game back from the injury. But you know, unfortunately, they fell to the 6th seed where they're matched up with the New York Knicks, who they beat twice in their own home. So, you know.
I'd rather play the Knicks.
To the victors go the spoils. Hey, you know what? But let's get back into this, man. We got Willie B.
What's happening? What's
in
happening
the
right
sound booth
With a crispy Daredevil hoodie on.
Hey,
Come on.
Hey,
he
check
made it
that
out. You made it out for a brief moment early.
Oh, yeah.
For the show, and it was
Yep.
dope to see you, man. A couple times that day. You before the Grand Slam Fest for opening day, you didn't know where you were going to be stationed, but ironically, they had you stationed right next door.
Exactly. That's what they did.
No kidnapping.
No, not at all.
Kidnapping
No.
Your
not
boy
at all.
avoided the case.
Oh yeah. I understand. But overall, man, I try to set it up. I'm like, I'll never see what's happening because I tried looking for it before I had to go to my location. And one of my managers, somehow out of nowhere, he said, "You go to Madison." And I know in Madison next to the Opera House. I said, "Bet." I didn't say nothing. I just walked in. So when I sat there, I saw the Woodward
You
Sports.
saw the green, huh?
I went straight through there to see you guys, man. I'm gonna make sure of that. And thanks for the hint when you say parking. That's why I sprint down.
Yeah.
That's why I sprint down. You say I look for parking. I was talking about it. I was like,
Yeah, bro.
Y'all
Look,
can
we were
help
on the
me?
show, and then I was doing we were talking about parking, and he just runs up like, "Yo, what up?" I'm like, Willie B joined the show, and it was dope to be able to get his experience because as a parking attendant, you've been a part of so many of the different vibes in the city, and all of the different, seeing so many different people showing up to support these teams, and now all of them are giving those good vibes. So it was good to have your perspective a part of the show.
it was
man.
awesome. It was awesome. And I like the vibe. It was barbecuing, and some folks gave me a Tiger's sugar cookie. You know, I don't like eat other people. It was like a Detroit English steak sugar cookie with blue sprinkles on it. I'm like, okay, I don't like eat anybody's food. You know, I was being nice.
Right.
But,
Yeah,
you
being
know,
nice.
A little nibble there, and I saw they was making briskets, but my man down there hit the brisket up. I hope y'all went to that brisket curl over down the street. Served that brisket with the mac and cheese on it.
Oh.
Cracking, man. I ain't tell you that.
So it sounds like you had a great opening day then.
Oh yes, I did, and they moved me to the next location on some hater shit. So
Motherfuckers.
that's
We
what
got-
I said, thanks for fucking up a good time.
We got WUW Sports MVP in the TD booth, JBSmooovv.
Jay
You talk
Bizzle.
about a true MVP, man. Made sure that the show got rocking and helped set up at the Grand Slam Fest, man. What up, though, man? How was your opening day in this weekend for you?
Oh, I mean, open day weekend was amazing. I sent you guys that text. Shout out to Flannel as well too for hooking me up on that advice. Parlayed that. Made myself a nice little change over the weekend, especially with that opening day game as well too. AEW was this past weekend. Me and KG recorded with Freddie Felt. Shout out to Freddie.
Shout
on
out.
Saturday as well too. Woodward Ringside. If you haven't, go and check that
I
out
was
as
watching
well
it.
too. Man, see, shout out Willie over there. Shout out to everyone sending in super chats as well too. $10 from Randall Smalls. He said, 2 for 10, you're a bum. 4 for 10, you're a superstar. Fine line, so careful how soon we give up on someone. And also shout out to Dante151. He sent in $1.99. He said Detroit playoff Pistons basketball, which I will be at the Pistons game tonight, by the way. So shout out.
It sounds good, man. And you know what? Just one more time, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick in the building, KG, Rookie of the Year. Hey, JBSmooovv, he got the MVP this year.
Oh,
Is he
of course.
joining you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Let's go, man. What up, though, KG?
Thank you. I do what I can. It's hard to top the performance by the great Willie B, though. But, hey, man, feeling good, bro. The Tigers gave you something to cheer about over the weekend. We not really sweating the Pistons. They getting ready for the playoffs. They are in the playoffs. We gonna talk about it. But just a good weekend, man. Just a good weekend. Got a lot of rest. Got a chance to kick it with the homies. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to Woodward Ringside. That episode is up, and yeah, feeling good, dog.
Hey, and shout out to all the people that supported and are supporting all of the bonus content as well. Woodward Ringside and Woodward Wings is two of the pilots that's helping to push Woodward Sports into honestly a different era in terms of content. So shout out to you guys. I saw it and I was happy to see the numbers too, man. Jump up there. And you guys did a marathon, man. You had a 2-hour stream.
Yeah, we did.
Shout out to Woodward Ringside. If you missed it, you want to go back and check it out, as well as the content from Woodward Wings. But before we get into the next segment, we talk a little Tigers. We do got to talk about Portal Merchant, Dusty May, just
right.
really quickly. And you know what? He picks up another one. We're sitting here talking about, are they going to get Dusty? Are they going to get Danny Wolf back? And instead, Dusty May just say, hey, I know we're going to at least have Yaxel Yaxel Lindenborg.
Yep.
And what I like about this player is we talk about Justin going crazy, like, I need doubles
Right.
out of our 7 footers out of area 51. And Yaxel already comes ready-made like that. About 18 and 11 a game type of a player, but that's not where he stops, man. He also has the ability to dish the ball around a little bit. And what I love is his ability to finish around the rim. We talked about, what was another thing we talked about? Needing toughness in the paint on both sides of the floor, both rim protection as well as finishing. And when you look at Yaxel's game, when you look at the effect he's had for UAB, that's where you get excited about what he can do for Michigan as well.
100%, and he's a prototypical modern day for he can run it, he can finish with the best of them. Like you said, he is a elite finisher in the paint. He also is a great defender. He averages 1.8 blocks per game, and as a 4, that's huge. He can take him off the dribble from the outside. He can shoot it from the outside at a 35% clip. He is a very, very versatile, I want to say, kind of a wing post hybrid. He doesn't play a singular position when he's Dusty May's positional basketball. He fits perfectly there because of the fact that he is so versatile. And he can even, if you want to play small ball and you want to play against a team that is pressing you and giving you trouble like the way that Houston did to Duke 2 nights ago, you have the versatility to put him at center. He's a good enough defender. He's athletic enough to guard the 5. He can guard all 5 positions, and that's something that Michigan didn't have last year. We were kind of position hemlocked, if that makes sense, where we didn't have a lot of versatility in our lineup. We couldn't really go small, we couldn't really go big. We were kind of in this middle area, and now we're already bringing in guys who we can have that versatility. We bring in 3 of the top 50 guys in this portal class. Dusty May is building a empire, and with the McKinney coming in, 5-star recruit, this team is going to be so good next year. I don't necessarily it's sad that we lost Trey Donaldson. He hit a lot of big shots down the stretch for us. But I truly believe with Catabo, Kason, McKinney, that backcourt should be elite. Very good backcourt, should be able to carry us into, I expect the same as this year. Sweet 16, I think, would be the baseline for our season next year.
Yep, and, I think that U of M overall got an upgrade in toughness. Just looking at the players that are going to be on this roster come next season. And I really like Dusty May's eye for being able to get this talent over to Michigan. I don't know what he's doing so well, what he knows about this portal so well, but he is definitely doing a darn thing. What up, though, KG?
And it's the fact that Michigan is back on the map, man. He's brought that success in year 1. Kids look at that. They see that, okay, if I go play for Dusty May, I got a really good opportunity to make a name for myself, go out there, either make some more NIL money or get to the NBA. So I'm loving this move. I mean, Dusty, he just continues to work. He picked up Morez Johnson last week as well, another solid forward who will be in your depth rotation. But Yaxel, man, double-double, and as you brought up, 52% from the field. But the 2 numbers that I like right here, 3-point percentage, 35.7%, and free throw percentage, 75%. So he is somebody that even in the low post, when he gets those boards, gets fouled, sent to the line, he is capable of hitting foul shots. That's something that you kind of like from Vlad Golden, the fact that he could get up there and hit foul shots. And you need this rebounding presence. That is one thing that we constantly harped on Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden about. And at times they were really good when it came to crashing the boards, but it was never consistent. With this guy, you're getting a consistent force in the low post. And he's versatile. Like Justin said, he can give you a little bit of everything, inside scoring, outside scoring. He's going to be great in the pick and roll. And you just wonder, if Danny Wolf decides to stay, then I think you have a juggernaut. But if he does decide to leave, I feel like this is a pretty capable replacement as well. So, no, I'm definitely looking forward to what this can look like. Danny Wolf, I'm hoping that you stay, man. Come back. This is going to be a wagon next year. But even if he doesn't, man, Dusty May is going to have this team ready, and you just love to see it.
And you mentioned that 3-point shooting. I was waiting for that to really get some love. And one of the stats that I love is the progression of players. Not just what is the percentage, but can they do it on high volume. And what you see out of him is the first season wasn't that high volume, 1 3 a game, but it was 33%. The next season, he ups that to 2 3s a game, and the percentage actually goes up to not just 35, but almost 36%. 35.7 from behind the arc. So all of his numbers are really going up as the usage and as the opportunities and as the attempts have gone up too. That bodes very well for his trajectory in terms of development. Think about the type of jump he can make next year, especially in a system like Dusty Mays, with the types of players that are coming here that he's going to be alongside. Might be one of the most talented teams he's ever played on at the collegiate level.
I'd agree, and I think that taking a little bit of weight off him will be very huge for him. He's also
his usage is at 26%. That's high.
Yeah, that's extremely high. And the way that we were able to give Danny Wolf the ball and have him facilitate the offense at times, I believe that Yaxel will have the ability to do so at a higher clip. He is more efficient when it comes to scoring, getting down to the lane, taking better shots. One thing I noticed, I watch him, he put up a 30-20 game in the American Conference Tournament, and he was just so efficient, getting to the lane, making good decisions, taking what's there for him, being gritty on the boards. It's just a lot of things that this Michigan team was lacking, like you said, KG, and that's what I love specifically about this move. This guy is a hard-nosed basketball player who really gets down, gets rebounds, blocks shots, does the little things, and that's a big thing for this Michigan team, and I think you're seeing that deep in the tournament as the defense becomes so much more lockdown, that you need these fundamental basketball ideals to be at the top notch, because that's what the Auburns, the Floridas, the Houstons, and the Dukes had, and that's why they got so deep in the tournament.
That's a fact.
Hey, and you know what, man? I look forward to Michigan and Michigan State basketball. I said this in the group chat as well, JBSmooovv, running things for the next few years at the very least. But what friends we got to say what up, though, to? And then we got to get into Tigers, Wings, Pistons.
Flannel is not here to do this read. Obviously, I think we would all like for him to do the Mad Packs read. I think we need some more of that boom shakalaka.
Go.
But,
boom shakalaka.
I'll start us off with some Caesar Sportsbook while we figure that out as well, too. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, it'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor tonight. Make some money. Come on, Pistons.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where fitness fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited uses of the Black Card spa featuring hydro massages, massage chairs, and total body enhancement and more, along with over 2,500 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. For more information, join today or visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and this is a victory show of just multiple sorts because April in the D was lit Friday. All the teams won. Everybody, man. Pistons, Wings, and you had those Detroit Tigers on opening day, and it was electric, man. Kerry Carpenter, hey, welcome to the season, man. This guy is setting off a torrid pace already. We were talking about where we're going to get the bats from. Kerry Carpenter has been almost like 2 bats per game this season, man. And the Detroit Tigers over the weekend, I know we didn't get to cover the victory on our show, obviously, because we covered the pregame, but they did open up opening day with a 7-4 win over the Chicago White Sox. Followed that up with a 7-2 win and then a 4-3 walk-off courtesy of Spencer Torkelson yesterday. And the theme of this is the fact that the offense continues to put up runs. That was something that we didn't know, were we going to get this to start the season? Because usually the bats have to warm up. Remember last season just how much the pitching staff had to be perfect. And now this year you're getting this this batting lineup going out there every single night, and AJ Hinch is able to get this team on the board to the tune of 4 or 5 runs per night, it seems.
Yes, that is the AL Central leading Detroit Tigers to you.
Damn right. Damn right. Full respect on it.
Yeah. Going into the weekend, tied with the AL Central, every single team, all 5 teams, and we were able to come out with a sweep to take the lead. What a big weekend for the Detroit Tigers. Specifically, Spencer Torkelson, he's back. I think it's fair to say that he is looking like a completely new self. His new swing looks amazing, such more fluent and quick to the baseball, which is showing the ability to hit those fastballs inside, and I love to see it. Jackson Jobe looked spectacular yesterday. I think that he had some bumps in the road. He had a couple times where he couldn't really find the strike zone, but I was impressed by his start. I think that he's got a lot left in the tank. I think that my dad was trying to tell me I think he should go to AAA. I was like, no, I don't think so. I think he had a good start, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, couple shaky spots in there, but yeah. I don't know. What do you think about that, KG?
No, he's gonna be there. You just have to allow him to go out there and take his lumps. And we was talking about it before the show. His stuff is good enough to be one of the best pitchers in the MLB. I don't think there's any question about that. But you're kind of seeing what Casey Mize had to go through in terms of just going out there, learning how to paint the corners. Like you said, at times he can be a bit hesitant coming into the zone, but he'll learn, and as we go along, I expect him to be a high strikeout guy. Yes, he will give up home runs here and there, but ultimately, if he can go out there and give you 4 to 5 solid innings, especially to start the year, I think you're looking at somebody that's going to grow throughout the season.
Yeah, and we're talking about a guy whose pitch mix is elite. Like, he has major league level stuff. Yeah. And that's why I have no worries about it. I think that he is just on a trajectory where he needs to take his lumps. He needs to learn how to face high level big league bats. And I know the White Sox aren't that. But it's still a major league team. So you got to give him credit. He was able to stick in there, only 2 earned runs, 5 innings, solid first start of the season for him at Comerica Park. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of room for him to grow. I expect him to look better as the season goes on.
Yes, it's just all about quality starts. How many quality starts can you go out there and provide this team? It doesn't really matter how it looks as long as you're not giving up a lot of runs. And, AJ Hinch is not going to put him in a position to fail. Ultimately, he's going to live and die on his own stuff. We all know that. But he's going to have the support of the guys in that bullpen and in that dugout, knowing to just go out there, focus on mastering your pitches, finding the right pitch placement, and let everything else come to you, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, and you said it right. Quality starts. And why can these starters focus on just going out there and trying to have at the very least quality starts? Because the bats are going out there and they're putting stress and pressure on the opponent's pitching staff. That gives our starters the opportunity to pitch with just a little less stress. They don't have to pitch as hard. They don't have to try and dance around a little bit more. Sometimes they can play to induce a little bit of contact or a pop-up and try to see if they can get out of the innings just a little bit quicker rather than having to be so pinpoint where sometimes you see some of those mistakes happen. Even with Tarek Skubal, a couple of the mistakes, even going back to the playoffs, it was because he had to be perfect. There was not a lot of room or margin for error due to the fact that the offense did not back him up that well. This year, the bats, this seems and it appears to be sustainable. Look, I don't see them necessarily, when you look at Spencer Torkelson, obviously, that's the one where you're like, okay, you hope this continues, but everything we've seen so far in terms of his plate discipline, how he's seeing the pitches, how he's being able to line up the pitches for big hits, that's where I'm like, I do believe that's sustainable. And everything else, I do believe Kerry Carpenter is going to still be that guy. I do believe Riley Green is only going to continue to improve. That's where I'm bullish on this Detroit Tigers team to go out there and you look at their schedule. I see a lot of handle your business games on the docket, including the Yankees. I know what people think and say, but I want to see the squad go out there and as hard and as tough as they battled against the Dodgers, I do believe this squad has an opportunity to go out there and win, honestly, the next 3 series on the schedule.
Yeah, and they got to go out there and they got to prove that this is no fluke and they are here to stay in terms of the offensive end. The good signs for me is you're man down right now in the offensive end. When they throw a lefty out there, me and my dad were talking about it, you have black holes in the bottom of your lineup.
Handicapped.
And you're handicapped by that. But think about how nice it will be when you get Gleyber Torres back, so a top 5 of your lineup bat. And you get Parker Meadows back, who can hit off lefties. This lineup is going to get better and better and better. And we're talking about, in a small sample size, you have 9 or 10 guys above the MLB average for OPS. I can't tell you the last time a Tigers team had that many guys around the mid level of OPS in the MLB. I'm thinking 2013, 2014 Tigers, when we had a lineup that we were trotting out where JD Martinez was hitting 6th.
Right.
All right? Like, that's the last time that this team had this much talent on the offensive side. And I know it's not at that level that it was in 2013, but we're building to a point where we have multiple guys with 1,000 OPS.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. No, you can call me a slappy, and I get it's just against the White Sox. Okay, it's still early in the season. We know all the caveats, right? Yep. But you can call me a slappy. You can call me a homer. This Tigers offense is exuding an upside that is way better than in years past. Like, I have confidence that they can go out there and score 5 or 6 runs, even as presently constructed. And that's not something I would have even came close to saying last year, even amongst the fast start that they had last year. So, no, the offensive upside on this team is great. You just love what Riley Green is giving you. He's continuing to be the guy for this team. We all talk about Spencer Torkelson, but how about Colt Keith bouncing back after his first rough weekend, one of the league leaders in walks in terms of MLB. Your depth has been really good on this team as well, man. Justin Henry Malloy, I really want this guy to stay up when the guys come back. It's still yet to be seen, but him at the leadoff spot has been great. His plate discipline is unbelievable. Andy Ibanez in spots has been really good, especially defensively.
He'll find his swing.
Yeah, he will, but even they sticking him out there against righties too. So they are allowing people like that, and Kerry Carpenter, he had a home run against a lefty. They are allowing those guys to go out there and try to improve their game, and so far so good, man. And we understand you have to see this for a month or 2 months for this to be called something legitimate.
Wait for that 40 games. Word to Rod Beard.
Of course, but just so far what they have shown you, they look like a different Tigers team, especially when they get runners on the base paths. They are very, very dangerous. They play very aggressive. They like to go first pitch, try and swing, get out ahead of the count. So I'm loving what this Tigers team is providing right now. It's really, really good.
And I want to be able to talk a little bit more about what's encouraging you all the most about these Detroit Tigers to start the season. Chat family, put your answers in the comments section as well, so we can read the best ones about what encourages you most about the Tigers. And do you believe that this is going to be the new standard. Is this going to keep up for the Tigers? I do have something that I want to be able to say on the other end of the break as well. And KG kind of alluded to it as well when you talked about the Colt Keith bounce back. And it's something that we've seen out of the Lions. It's something that we've seen out of the Pistons that really bolstered the success that we see them having right now. But JBSmooovv, what friends should we say hello to first?
I got to tell them about merch, but first, shout out once again to everyone sending in super chats. $5 from Burn. He said,
shout out.
When Torque came up to bat in that ninth, I've never in my life been so confident a Tigers hitter was going to get it done.
Swear to
Tigers
God.
won that on experience alone. That's what I'm talking about right there.
He's a changed man.
It was more weird that I had confidence that he was going to get it done than the fact that he actually got it done. It's like, that's where we're at.
Yeah, man. No, he is a changed man, and you have to give him credit, bro. And we done came up here and glazed this man, rightfully so, though, because all the hate that was put on his name last year, a lot of people didn't believe in him. The organization put pressure on him, and so far he has just stepped up to the plate, no pun intended, in a big way.
Yeah, I got to shout out IT Hips because we were talking on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, hey, it's going to be a good day today. I got to feel it.
Yeah.
And it was a good day.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. It's also a good day to get you some WSN merch.
You damn right.
All you got to do is go to woodwardsports.com and click on that shop tab. We got new designs for you every single week. You know you got to represent the Red Wings. Hey, they got it done over the weekend, so why not support them? LFG Red Wings t-shirts and hoodies available for you. And we always got those gritty tigs. The Woodward Tigers as well, too. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats as well, too. Head over to woodwardsports.com and pick up yourself some. All you got to do is just click on that shop tab.
Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
All right, Woodward Sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or simply chilling at home, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products, 27 locations across the state, 9 alone in Metro Detroit, so there's always one close nearby you. Don't fear, if you live in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, stores are popping up your way very, very soon. If you don't have time to go and check them out in store, look at all the products they had at jarscannabis.com, because you know what? I know you want to get high.
Come on, Torque! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120
Electric. Homer the day before, walk off day after.
Woo, man!
Believe.
Focus on getting it done again, and I just feel as exhilarated as when the play actually happened as well. And because this is Tigers baseball, this is Detroit.
Man, what?
I know you spent time down there. I know Willie B has been around there. Obviously being one of the parking attendants.
Most definitely.
But you were there in the building as well, KG, during some of the high points in Tigers baseball, recent history. This, to me, this weekend, and I get it, people are going to say it's the White Sox, so you don't consider the teams that you're playing, but they handled their business, and it felt like the old times.
No, and I think, it wasn't crazy to say, and I know I said it, that, they were destined for maybe a slow start to the season, just depending on, the injuries and how things were shaking out. But they have just gone out there and proved everybody wrong, man. And it's beautiful to see Comerica Park this way. Like, I'm telling you, I used to be there, sellouts, 40,000 every single night, even during weekdays, for this Tigers team. And to see it get back to that, I can't wait to get to a game, bro. It's beautiful to see, bro.
During that time, we used to get tickets, but he would just be like, man, we have to see it this way.
Yeah.
And he would just walk us up to the gates, and we would just stand up there and just watch the game. And sometimes if they would hit a home run and the fountain goes off, then we're just standing down there. And it was dope experience with my pops. And then we would go and watch like the last 4 or 5 innings from inside.
Yeah.
And the way that people are, man, the way that everyone's high-fiving, the way that everybody is just about the Tigers, about Detroit, and about sharing that moment of just really positivity with that Detroit across the chest.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And just hearing the crowd go wild. Shout out to that dude Justin. Shout out to Nick Koloff for the great
big shout out
arena or in stadium content this weekend. Nick Koloff, Woodward Sports' credentialed Tigers beat reporter, did
killing it too.
Great job this weekend,
it.
man. He killed it. He got content with everybody, man. Dan Dickerson, Andy Dirks,
Michael Keegan.
There you go, man. He was all over the place, and he covered the game so well, man, with breakdowns and such. So shout out to him, and I know you were there as well, and you got a lot of great content, man. You guys were crushing it, man. Absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, shout out Nick. I was firsthand watching everything that he was sending me to post, and he was killing it. I was so proud of him. He deserves it.
He's made for that role.
Spenny said, no one lives and dies by every pitch like Nick Koloff. So I'm glad that he is in that role. But this team is just, it was electric down there, and it wasn't sold out per se quite yet, but there was a lot of people there, a lot of passionate fans. It was a playoff atmosphere at the end there when we were making that comeback. Everyone was standing, cheering. It was loud. It was electric. Obviously, when the walk-off happened, and that's the type of energy that this city gives you on a night-to-night basis. And it was like that at the Wings game too.
Nice.
I've never seen more people at LCA. It was so close to being sold out. Everyone was loud. Everyone was into the game. And you could just tell April in the D was alive and well. Yeah. So many people wearing Red Wings jerseys at the Tigers game, Tigers jerseys at the Red Wings game, and just the love for sports in the city is on an all-time high.
Yeah, and seeing how the NBA, how they moved their schedule around, we actually get October in the D and April in the D with meaningful games or meaningful events going on, because this is a month where all 4 teams are active, because we do got those Detroit Lions who have a draft at the end of this month as well. Yeah. So it's going to be a whole lot going on in the city, a whole lot of news, a whole lot of what we like. I do believe that the Detroit Tigers are going to continue this on. Stephen Baffy, I see you in the chat. He says, sorry, I'm going to be a SOT, a same old Tiger fan.
That's fine.
Until they actually win some. There's a hook here. Oh, wait, they won in the playoffs last year. Never mind. There is some actual hope for the Detroit Tigers. And that's what I'm going to continue to ride with this team. That's why I went probably a little Kool-Aid high on my win prediction of 91. But I expect this team to get better. I know that they're dealing with some injuries to start the season, but to see some of these guys step up, to see some of the internal growth, some of the guys like Torkelson, who we've been saying, listen, man, if he could just figure it out, how much better it would make this Tigers lineup. And now we're seeing to some small degree what that looks like. Even if you go back to the Dodgers series, they put pressure on them, man. Mm-hmm. They fought and they battled, and you take that same type of fight and it's parlayed into a 5-1 record after that Dodgers series that I do believe you look at the next 3 series, you're going to be looking at a Tigers team that is still at the top of the AL Central.
And you talked about it. They're injured right now. They're down a couple key bats, and they're just going to keep getting better as the season moves on. Like you said, you're forcing guys to have to step up. You're forcing guys to need to play better. And by doing that, it's just going to make it easier for the guys who are out of the lineup, the Meadows, the Perez's, and the Torreses, who can just come into a lineup that's already firing at 100%, and they just have to come in and be a complementary piece. And then they can get back to their form and just snowballs down and continue to play well down the stretch, and that's what makes you have a good baseball season for the Detroit Tigers.
I also, and Kool-Aid, my bad if I interrupted you.
You're good.
But no, also, like, defensively, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Definitely not.
And you got to give credit to Javi Baez. I know I'm supposed to be the Javi hater on this show, but listen, today I ain't got nothing for you. I got nothing for you. Javi has been solid defensively, and even in Sunday's game, going out there getting a 3-hit game, low-key being the catalyst for that run in the ninth inning. You got to give him credit for that, man. Zach McKinstry, they're using him all over the field, and
playing well.
Yeah, he's delivered in most of the spots that he's been in. He has delivered, even at the plate, going up there being smart in a lot of his plate appearances. So defensively, if this team can hold on until these guys get back, I think this Tigers team is in a really good position to do some damage, especially considering that this offense seems to be consistent.
Yep, and you know what? That's where I want to be able to zero in and focus in. And what I want to do is this, an exercise. I ask you guys what encourages you about the Tigers most, but you can't say someone else's answer.
Okay.
So I'll start first. And for me, it's what I wanted to see after the Dodgers series. It's resiliency. Are they going to have, and you said it with Cole Keith, that bounce back? Whether it's the players or and the team overall or A.J. Hinch, can you do different things management-wise? I know that in that Dodgers series there were certain things that we were like, man, we wish he would have done this or we wish he would have done that. To see this team go out there and handle their business against the Mariners and against the White Sox, to see them bounce back, to see Spencer Torkel, some people say, oh, he got off to such a hot start, but now he's like one for his last what? And we kept saying, but he's getting on base. He's still seeing the plate well. Sometimes it's just coming off the bat the wrong way. And what did we see him do? We saw him stick through it and help this Tigers team sweep the White Sox. So my word is resiliency. We see the Lions and the Pistons. What do they do after a loss or two? They were able to bounce back.
Yes, sir.
A player with a slump. You see like a Tobias Harris, how he started the year. Sorry, JBSmooovv. Versus what we saw him
he's
turn
back,
into.
though. He's back.
You know, it is what it is. But I'll go to you, that dude, Justin. What is that one thing that you are most encouraged by with the Tigers?
I think the one thing I'm most encouraged by is the fact that they're not front runners. And they are showing more signs that they can win games in a lot of different ways. I think last year they were a team where if you got them down early and you weren't able to get into their really good bullpen, they didn't have the bats to come back and beat you in those type of situations. But you saw in this game against the White Sox on Sunday, they went down by 3 runs, and they were able to just constantly in that ninth inning work out good at bats, get timely hits, and that's something that I didn't see last year, and I was also worried about seeing in the Mariners game, but I think the Chicago series maybe gave me a little bit more ease about that because I want this team to be good enough where they can win in every style and any different way. They can win with the bats, they can win with the pitching, and that's what great baseball teams do. And that's where they need to get. That's their next step because they can't just be a team where if we get on you early, that's how we have to win. You need to be able to win in multiple different ways, and that's what I'm looking for is a more consistent level of winning in multiple ways.
Well, I'll just say the bats. He kind of covered it, but this Tigers offense, once again, they've arguably been better than the pitching so far this year. And we all talked about, especially me, their lack of power in this lineup. If they can go out and add some power to this lineup, this would be a dangerous offense. Well, it seems like you got it in-house, at least so far. I'll continue to say this. If you can get this kind of Casey Mize and Spencer Torkelson, it's almost like you got 2 extra free agent additions this year just based on what you got from them last year, which wasn't a lot. I mean, Parker Meadows was good coming back, but Torque, he had a couple spots here and there, but he tailed off towards the end of the year. It's so good to have a consistent Tigers offense. I think they're averaging around 5 runs a game right now. And they're just playing good ball, man. You're seeing longer at-bats. You're seeing them make the pitchers work more. You're seeing better plate discipline and just the vision, man. And they are putting balls in play, and they are executing on the base paths, man. They are a very aggressive team. I brought that up earlier. I like how AJ Hinch likes to play it, even if they get thrown out occasionally. You're not gonna get them all.
Slow player. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
if
man.
it works.
Yeah, but even if they get thrown out on the base paths, I can respect the fact that they are going for it each time that they're out there. So no, this Tigers offense has shocked me. They really have.
Xavier D said torpedo bats. Come on. Burn, $2 super chat. He says the Tigers are taking 2 against the Yankees. Man, I really believe that they're going to win that series.
They can.
Willie B, I got to go to you, man. Hey, what has encouraged you most about these Detroit Tigers?
The chicken tenders.
Yeah, take no one else's answer, though.
Scrappy.
All right.
They wanted to battle. The first 3 games against the Dodgers when they lost, they was battling. And they was real scrappy with other teams. And when you got Riley Green, you got Torque hitting consistently, and you got Javier for once. He does something right.
Watch.
Making good defensive plays last couple of games against the White Sox. They showed the signs that they wanted to battle. You want to go against them, you're going to have a fight in your hands against other opposing teams because the Tigers are willing to hit. The defense will hit. They put everything together because we was concerned before the season starts with the offense because there's no legit hitter. Now everybody, Green, Torque, and you got Javier. They would definitely put it together, hit consistent home run with Carpenter too. So that case, when they healthy, when they play as a team, they could be dangerous as a league. Very dangerous. So I consider it a scrappy team, and I think that mindset. It started with Dan Campbell with the Lions, and it's translated to the whole city of sports atmosphere of grit.
They're all saying it.
Yeah.
They're all saying it. You know, and JB Bickerstaff said it. He was like, "Hey, what the Lions are doing in that grit, we want that too. Like, why reinvent the wheel? It's what's always worked. I mean, for a lack of a better word than will, this is the Motor City. It's like this is what we do. Why do it any differently?" And to see these teams and these players really start to kind of embody that, I like that word, scrappy.
Yeah, I love that, Willie. And I think that there's a true nuance to that answer as well because they play a gritty style of baseball, the way that they run the bases. They steal. They are able to – they run multiple hits and runs. They play to the gaps. They play to the stadium. Comerica Park is a very singles, doubles, triples type of stadium, and they play to that style of baseball. And then they have great pitching. This is a team that is so team-oriented that you go through multiple pinch hitters per game every single game because it's so team-based, and I think that proves to the grit of the coaching staff and the grit of the team. So I like that answer a lot, Willie.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, in JBSmooovv, before I get your one encouragement, you can't take nobody else's answer. I like what Matthew Kruger had to say here. He said you can't count these Tigers out of first place unless there's 9 games left in the season. In return games out there's no giving up. He says there's no giving up on them halfway through the season this year. And I think that goes along with a lot of things we're talking about this morning. And you said it best at the tail end of yours. You gave it what you were encouraged about, but ultimately the consistency.
Yeah.
This is what's going to test them, and that's where you want the resiliency, the scrappiness, obviously those bats to continue to lead the way. If they lead the way all season as it relates to what's the better unit between the bats and the pitching, the Tigers are going to be really freaking good because the pitching is really good.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about what we see out of the bats. But JBSmooovv, what's encouraged you most about the Tigers? And remember, can't take no one else's answer.
I was going to say Justin hit on a lot of good points and a lot of good answers that we all kind of brought up here as well too. But like I said, your resilience, you're gritty. Obviously, I think it's just next man up. Like they're not sitting here and just letting these games go by. True. Even with that injury list kind of growing more and more. They see it and it's just like no more excuses. Like we're going out there and we're doing everything we can to get this win. And I'll still bring up that Dodgers series as well too. Even though you didn't get a win out there, you were still battling this team, this championship team over here. And you just did not quit at all. You saw that, and then you went on to Seattle. You still got 2 wins out of there, but you weren't satisfied with that. That's when you went out here with these White Sox, and you just swept it because you knew you had to have this. And their confidence is just growing more and more game by game, and you see that in every single pitch and play. I'm still not on the Javi train yet.
Not yet.
But
that's fine.
It's okay.
He's going to have to show me more, and then maybe I can join the bandwagon. But as of right now, Javi, you still on the outside.
JBSmooovv, Javi Baez, and Tobias Harris walking to a bar.
Right.
I ain't buying neither one of them a drink.
No, but I do like that next man up answer.
I got you, Toby.
Yeah, no, I like that next man up answer from JB. And yesterday's game was a perfect example of that. That was a game in which they sat Riley Green, they sat Colt Keith, and they sat Trey Sweeney. And they still were able to find a way to win this game, although they were kind of outmatched early by the pitching and the offense by the White Sox. So, this team, they just find a way, bro. The gritty Tigers, man, it's a real thing. And hopefully they can keep this up until you get your guys back. But when they do, watch the hell out, man, if they can continue this level of play.
Man, if they can continue, that's going to be the thing there, because sometimes I feel like we should just give them the benefit of the doubt because they made the playoffs and they actually made noise in the playoffs and had a good opportunity to really advance even further. And so part of me wants to just jump all the way into the Kool-Aid, the orange Kool-Aid, and just say, what? I know the Tigers are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that what we're seeing right now is exactly who they're going to be throughout the entire season. And honestly, I feel confident saying that. Just because I know the pedigree of the coaches they have, but also these players. It's a mix of the players who we've wanted to see honestly carry this team and we thought was already going to give them an opportunity to win. And now you're mixing that with guys like Spencer Torkelson and Javi Baez finding ways to contribute as well. That's honestly, and Casey Mize, like KG said, that's like getting some of these free agent additions we were hoping they were going to take a swing on. Well, if you're getting contributions from these guys and you're not paying a boatload of money, I'm hoping that this encourages ownership to say, okay, well, then maybe we could spend a little more strategically in these other areas and maybe get one more of those bats to really put this lineup over the top. Because I'm going to say it again, if this batting order continues to be one of the strengths of this team, then this Tigers team is going to be really, really good. And just looking ahead, they got 3 against the Yankees here. And then they followed it up with a series against, right now, the 3-6 Twins. And then a good one against the Brewers, followed by the Royals. So, there's really no let up. It's going to be a bunch of games against teams that I believe the Tigers need to separate themselves from and just handle their business. We did this with the Pistons all season. Yeah. And they continue to go out there and win those handle your business games. To the point that national media was like, well, they haven't beat anybody. Yeah, well, last year they didn't beat anybody. Yeah. At least this year they're beating the teams that you want to see a Kay Cunningham-led team with some good vets do. So to see this Tigers team go out there and win the series against the Mariners, sweep the White Sox, and does everybody feel confident that they have an opportunity to win the series against the Yankees?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
That's the point.
Kicks some New York ass.
Talk about it.
There we go.
I think that this is going to be a tough series for the Tigers, but I do think the pitchers who we're bringing in this series, we got Scooble on the bump, we got Flaherty on the bump. I think that gives us any game plan to win any series. So I truly think that we have a good chance to take 2 out of 3 at our home ballpark, a place that doesn't favor the torpedo bat the way that it does at Yankee Stadium. And I think that I like our chances.
You got a Scooble one-hitter loading. Heavily. He has to get back on track. Not to say that he's been horrible, but he has to get back on track, bro.
Like you almost sense it. JV would go through these things too, and then it was almost like, I think tonight's one of those must-see JV type nights because he's gonna have one of those bounce backs. And with Scooble, I don't know what the moniker is that we come up with, but this is one of those ones where when you're talking about Scooble, anytime it's must watch. But I agree with you, KG. When you talk about the type of competitor he is, how good he is, the standard he holds himself to, I believe he's looking to be lights out, especially understanding. Like we saw Cade dance just a little bit more on Madison Square, against the Knicks. And I feel like we're going to get a little bit more out of some of these guys as well against the Yankees.
Yeah, it's going to be the game for it because are they playing that here or are they playing? Okay, well, if they playing it here, then we got a way better chance because we all know Yankee Stadium. I can hit a home run in Yankee Stadium.
310 today, man. Hopefully the weather continues to comply, man. And I'm glad to see the chat family as well is just kind of fired up about what this Tigers team is doing right now. Obviously, there's some people who they want to see more, and that's fair. But Dante 151, we talked about them not having to go out there and cash out, and it's like you got some new additions. He's like, or I don't know, pay Scooble.
Yeah,
that was what I was gonna say.
Pretty much.
I mean, you could do that, but I don't expect it anytime soon, y'all. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast.
I'm hoping that it's this season at some point.
It probably
if not,
won't be.
We might as well trade him at the trade.
Skyboard's taking on the market, bro.
Oh, goodness gracious, man. I see Mark Royal in the chat, too. Pistons. He got embarrassed by the Grizzlies without John. Someone named Bane killed the Cade Crusader. Goodness gracious.
Desmond
Bain has done this to
He
the
look like
Pistons.
Kobe Bryant when he come to LCA. I still don't under fucking stand it. Like,
every time. Like,
every time.
How many why we've had KG an uncomfortable amount of basketball conversations where Desmond Bain is literally a topic.
Yeah.
Like,
we have.
Goodness. I know the Pistons passed up on him. And so I do believe that he takes that type of stuff personal.
Of course.
And it doesn't matter. Ja hasn't been here for like the Grizzlies' last few wins at LCA. It's been Desmond Bain. So, but like we said, the Pistons,
they get ready for the playoffs, man.
They fell to number 6 in the East, and now they're matched with those.
Hey, I know one thing. Y'all better hope they don't finish at 43 or I'm coming in here. I'm crashing the fuck out. You best believe I'm crashing out if they finish at 43.
Come on.
Man.
Sticky notes my ass. I'm crashing out.
I ain't gonna be mad at you because we can set as many parlays as we want. And if one of them hits, bro, crash out.
Yes, sir.
No, it's gonna be interesting to see, man, what happens. But let's get into the next segment because I do want to talk about the Detroit Red Wings and the fact that they have kept their hopes alive. I know you've been amped up, man. There's a lot of people telling you jump off of the playoff hope train, but I want you to tell us why we should stay on that playoff hope train. And JBSmooovv, you want to clear up any super chats before we go? And what friends are we saying?
Big super chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Did one just pop in here?
Yeah, we got one from Eliseo Lalanaj. Sorry if I butchered that. That's a hell of a name, but $24.99 from the boy.
Hell
man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out, dog.
Cash out.
Canada.
Hey,
Appreciate that, bro.
Shout out.
And,
once
well,
again.
woo, and it got a little emoji going on.
Yeah,
I gotta do
man.
it justice.
Little
Like,
too.
woo! I feel it, boy. I'm fired up. That's what it kind of gives me those vibes.
Oh,
Definitely.
shout out.
That was me
Also,
all
shout
weekend.
out to Rando Smalls. He sent in $5 as well,
Shout out
too.
my dog.
The famous saying, it's never over till the fat lady sings. And Kool-Aid, we got to hear from one Lady Janes.
At Lady Jane's, we take the chart of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage.
Watch yourself.
You know what? My favorite, that hot lather neck shave.
Thick and wet.
Hey,
a hot
yeah.
towel
And oily.
treatment. Hey, listen, man. It's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy, every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. You guys, you want to trust the guy that DMAC trusts, because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we got a couple more of these Detroit teams to talk about, because the Pistons, the Wings, these teams are the Pistons locked in a playoff spot last Friday night. Shout out to them after going 17 wins 2 seasons ago, 14 wins, a franchise low wins, and an NBA record 28 game losing streak. They've gone literally as historic. The first team to go from 14 wins to playoffs. The first team over 2 82 game seasons to go from 14 wins, bro, like to triple their win total. Like, it's insane.
Unreal.
And so we're going to talk about them. I can't wait to get there. But we got to talk about the Detroit Red Wings first because we wanted to see this squad fight. That was one of the things that a lot of supporters said, like, all right, now that the playoffs are looking a little less likely, we do see some of the vision starting to come to fruition, and we like what this team has been under Todd McClellan. And a lot of people believe that if Todd McClellan was here from the beginning of the season, that this Red Wings team is probably more firmly entrenched in the wild card spot. And so there's a lot of people who are willing to see, however this team fights down the stretch, that's where they're going to allow their feelings to really rest as it relates to Steve Yzerman and this plan moving forward. But this Red Wings team, they've boosted themselves. They went from 77 to 79 points, and they find themselves just 6 points outside of wild card spot 2. But they're doing their part to stay in this thing, especially after a win over the Florida Panthers, man. I didn't know how likely it was going to be, but this team, they're showing a little bit of character right now, and as that dude Justin said, they are hot at the right time.
Yes, they're playing very, very well right now. And even though the Panthers were missing a few of their best players, which did make a difference in the game, there's a lot of things that we're seeing from the Red Wings that show the signs of when they do get hot, they get hot. The first thing is that the goaltending is hot, and that's Cam Talbot has played phenomenal these last 2 games. Last night, he made save after save down the stretch and really won that game for the Red Wings. And so the flowers have to go to him, and he is going to be critical down the stretch if they want to make the playoffs. Right now, they are projected a 4.6% chance to make the playoff, according to Money Puck, which is a hockey analytics website. And there is a chance, because the good news is you play the Canadiens on Tuesday, who hold the final wild card spot, and that is your chance. This is the final must-win game of the season that you have to win. You have no choice. If you are able to win this game, get 4 points within, that will have 5 games to go. You're talking about if you go 3-2 and they go 2-3, or they'd have to go 1-4. There's still a path. There's a pathway to the playoffs, and that's where it lies. They are playing good hockey. They just beat the Hurricanes when they had their full roster playing, which that was a huge win. Bounce back, beat the Panthers. You're going to need some great performances down the stretch from your star players. Yesterday, you saw DeBrincat with a beautiful goal, stepping up on a great pass from Raymond. You saw Marco Kasper take a hit to make a play, which led to JT Compher's goal, which that doesn't happen when you make – that's a veteran-level play by Marco Kasper. I texted in my group chat with Spenny and Neil and D-Mac, and I was like, guys, that is a veteran-level play. When you have a defenseman coming down on you, about to give you a nice body check and lay you on the ice. He stays in there. He takes the hit. He makes a nice pass to Compher, creating that 2-on-1 for the goal. That's elite level stuff. Marco Kasper continues to raise my ceiling for him, and he's on a 30-goal, 50-point pace since he was moved to one of the top 2 lines. Really showing his class since McClellan took over and realized that he was kind of wasted away on those bottom lines, and has really shown a lot of nice stuff as a rookie.
So, Justin, we've seen the ups and downs with this Red Wings team all year, and you can point to a lot of different things, but why should I believe that this current surge by the Red Wings is tangible?
Well, the current surges happen. There's usually a few things that you can tell that are happening when they surge. And the first one is that Alex DeBrincat is hot. Alex DeBrincat has to be the one that is consistently scoring, and he needs to be a goal per game out for the rest of the season for this offense to really continue. Also, Patrick Kane. I think that line of Larkin, Kane, and DeBrincat has really shown a lot of offensive firepower. They really look comfortable in that zone. It allows Larkin and DeBrincat to do what they do best on a line with Kane. I think that you're seeing like I said, Cam Talbot is playing great. You're going to need the goaltending. The goaltending is the biggest key. Once you're getting the goaltending, you can look at all of our streaks throughout the entire season. That's when Cam Talbot was holding above a 9-point save percentage. So and you're seeing those big time saves as well. The way that he was able to come across the crease and stop some backdoor passes yesterday, like those type of saves that And you saw like again when they went on that losing streak right after the Four Nations, Cam Talbot was letting in a bunch of squeakers. A lot of goals were going in, and between his arms and his 5-hole easy stops that he wasn't necessarily capitalizing on. And in these last couple games, you're seeing him make big save after big save. And when he's on like that, that's when this team's on. And you're seeing a lot from Mo Sider, Edmondson. They're playing great defense, and I think that there's a lot of good going around in this Red Wings locker room. And they even played well in that Blues game. They controlled the entire game. They should have won that game. It might haunt them like very badly. But if we're talking about them winning 3 of their last 4. I mean, what more of a sample size do you need against 3 of them as high-level playoff teams? The Blues are the best team in hockey since over the last 15 games span. The Bruins have been playing a little bit better since they traded away all their guys, and the Hurricanes and the Panthers speak for themselves. So I really think this team is finding their stride at the right time. It might be a little bit too late because of the point deficit they're at right now, but they're giving themselves any chance that they can possibly get.
And the one thing we do know is they went under 2 7-game winning streaks underneath the top father. And so that, to me, it's like, you know what, if they have the recipe to get it done, they have done this and responded to this coach. And so they have everything on the line right now. I saw IT Hips, I believe, earlier said that they do control. Yeah, Red Wings have the tiebreakers as 2. So if they handle business like we saw them do during a couple different streaks underneath the top father, they will give themselves an opportunity to make some noise come the end of this season. They did that last year and fell just short. But going into next season, are you feeling a little bit more confident about this team going into next season than you did coming into this season?
Yes, 100%. There's no doubt about that. I think that every player who I could have asked to take a step this year has taken a step. I think that although Lucas Raymond has kind of middled out a little bit and hasn't been as a consistent goal scorer as he was in the beginning of the season, I think that you can 100% see his stride in the right direction. He is becoming an elite passer with great vision. And then Marco Kasper, ever since he moved to the second line, like I said, 30-goal pace, 50-point season he would have had if he was getting that love from the beginning. Elmer Soderblom has really come into his own. People were worried about his frame and being 6'8" in the NHL, which is very difficult to be able to move in a way that he can at that size, but he does, and he looks fluent and very good. Last night he continued to set the pace constantly and with his size, and he's going to be a key contributor to this team moving forward. You're seeing the modern day NHL be ruled by bigger forwards who play physical, and that's what you need in this modern day NHL. So he's very nice to have on this team. DeBrincat's having a career. This is the best season he's had in 3 years, no doubt about it. Yeah. He has really, really become more of a complete player this year in terms of years past. Patrick Kane obviously revitalized, best season he's had in 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. The only player who you could argue didn't take a step forward is Dylan Larkin. You're seeing a very similar season from him as last year, but I think that this is just the norm for him. I think that he's kind of hit where he's going to be. He's going to be a very good 1C. He's not going to jump off the score sheet like how a lot of people expect him to do, but he does the right things when he needs to. He plays good PK. He wins draws, and that's what you need out of him. And then on the D side,
no ego either.
Yeah, no ego. Great captain, and he's always willing to go in there and step up for his teammates, and that's something that you can't say enough about. He is not a big dude, but when he's going up there and he's throwing cross checks with Brady Tkachuk and other big guys around the NHL, that shows you something. That shows you he's a captain, he's a leader, and he cares about his team. And on the back end, you got Mo Sider. He hasn't taken as big a jump as a lot of people might have wanted, but he does look great. He's an absolute lockdown defenseman. He looks hindered with Sherrod as his D pair, and I think when you give him a better pairing, he's going to really take that next level jump that you expect from him. Simon Edvinsson completely looks like a talent. Might be the best defenseman on the team right now. He is showing more offensive flash than Sider, even though Sider has made a big jump in his offensive production. Rang went off the crossbar last night. Was it a beautiful shot? And, I mean, Johansson. Albert Johansson, can't say enough about the kid. Undersized, but comes out every single day, hits, makes the right play. He's going to be a great bottom 3 defenseman for us moving forward. And I just think that this rebuild is in a very good spot. You're seeing guys in Grand Rapids as well. I'm going to go total nerd out for a second. And they're playing well. They're humming towards the playoffs. You got guys like Lombardi, Danielson, all playing great hockey right now. And that's just showing that these next couple of years are really starting to see that you saw with Casper and you saw with Edmondson this year and Johansson. Imagine a year with another 4 names that are making this big of a impact in production, and then having them continue to grow together. And that's the thing that people don't see with the Yzer plan is that it takes time. You can only get 4 players in at a time. And so you usher 4 players out next year who are honestly net negatives, and the guys like Petrie, hopefully we buy out Hall, and you put this team in a better position with some depth. If this team had depth, even one more line of depth on the offense or the defensive side, like we're talking about this team in the playoffs, no doubt. They're a player to 4 players away at this point.
So, it's a slow burn, to say the least. And, I know a lot of fans are impatient, and we going to hold our hope until it's over. Of course, we're Detroit fans, but chances are they're not going to make it this year, and I think most people would consider that a disappointment. And you kind of partially answered. This is actually a 2-part question. What is the biggest area that the Red Wings need to improve from a play style standpoint? And my second question is, you brought up the kids, and I think that's something that a lot of Red Wings fans would like to see some of these kids come up. You did bring that up, but just who specifically do you expect to see up next year?
I specifically expect Nate Danielson. He should 100% be on the roster. They've done the classic 2 years in GR. Give him that time or 1 year in GR. Give him that time to equate, because he's really found his stride in the second half of the season, which has been very, very big for him. I think there's a chance you see Lombardi next year. He's showing a lot of good flashes since he's coming back from injury. You already saw Mazur come up, and he unfortunately broke his elbow in his first game, but he will be here next year, no doubt. And I'm the one that is the big one, and I'm praying for is Axel Sandin Palenka, the Red Wings' #1 prospect from Sweden. He is, in my opinion, the godchild. He will be the best defenseman on this team, and he hasn't even played in the NHL yet. He has every tool of a modern-day NHL defenseman. He can play defense. He can play offense. He's got a wicked shot. He can move the puck. He's everything that you look for in a guy. The comp I give for people would be Lane Hudson or Quinn Hughes. He just has that level of impact when he has the puck on his stick on the offensive side and the defensive side. And I'm just so excited to see him with a Red Wings uniform. I was hoping that they were going to get eliminated from their playoffs in Sweden, which is going on right now. So he was going to be able to play some North American hockey because the ice is smaller over here before the end of the season, which may still happen. But I would definitely say that Axel, Danielson, and Mazur will all be on the team next year, guaranteed. Okay,
and cool. And just back to my first question, from a play style standpoint, what is the biggest improvement that the Red Wings need to make? Because, the PK has been very, very bad this year. Goaltending hasn't been the best. What area do they need to attack this offseason in order to get into the playoffs next year?
Well, they need to attack 2 things. They need to attack the defense. They need to bring in some more guys to add some depth to this team, because what the big issue is the 5-on-5 scoring. They are the worst 5-on-5 scoring team in the entire NHL, and their only saving grace is the fact that they're third in power play scoring. They are power play dependent. They've been power play dependent all year. So the one thing that they're going to need is to be able to improve the 5-on-5 scoring. How you do that is you bring in an offensive weapon that actually will improve the 5-on-5 scoring. Everyone is hoping that is Mitch Marner. He is the prize free agent of this class, and the Red Wings have some of the most cap space in the NHL. That is the dream scenario. If you can't do that, you have to bring in some defensemen. You need to be a better defensive hockey team if you're going to not have more offensive firepower. You need to do that anyway. So bring in a defenseman, a veteran defenseman. Yep, bring in a tough veteran defenseman, exactly, that you can rely on to teach these young kids. You still have Seider and Edmondson and Johansson still finding their footing. Seider's only been in the league for 4 seasons now. And
crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about. He's only 24 years old too.
Wow.
And he hasn't really had that guy. Like, the best defenseman he's played with is Ben Sherratt. Ben Sherratt's a career bottom 4 defenseman. That's not someone who I necessarily want my star defenseman to be looking up to. I want a real veteran defenseman, someone who's been there, who's had the experience, and can really impact the game on a defensive side. And that's where this team needs. They need better defense. The goaltending will come. Mrazek is under contract next year. So is Talbot. That's going to be a formidable goalie tandem. And then whenever Costa gets some minutes, he'll get some minutes. But he's obviously, him and Augustine are the goalies of the future. So there's no worries there. It's got to be a defenseman, and then it's got to be a goal-scoring forward. And you need to make this team better. You need to have 3 lines of forwards who can score. That's what you're missing right now. All the best teams in the NHL have 3 lines of top-end scoring talent that can score goals on a consistent basis. You have 1.5. You have been struggling to find a true 6th forward for your top 6 the entire season, and that's why the 5-on-5 scoring's down. So I think if you're able to bump all of your guys down by an entire line, I think you're really starting to show some depth and really starting to put the pieces together for next year.
Okay. And I see the chat family here, Weezy 313, there is some support for this rebuild and the time it's taken. He says this is an obvious rebuild. It's built the right way, and no Detroit fan wants to hear that. Hoof-hearted, one of my favorite chat names. He says, your NFL team needs to be an absolute wagon to really compete. You need elite star players up and down the lineup. It takes forever to build in the NHL. And I do wonder, though, with the foundation they have, is it enough there for them to go and make some minor tweaks? You talked about Sherratt not necessarily being the vet that you want here. And you look at the Pistons, they went and they had Bojan, which was not the vet, and Alex Burks, the vets that you really want to hear. And remember, they brought in Taj Gibson last season. It was like, now all of a sudden they got Tobias, they got Beasley, they got Hardaway. They went and added Dennis Schroeder. Do you believe that they're just like those types of picks, just a few of those, they're Tobias away from being able to move into better success? Or do they need more of that star power before they find their real footing for success?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that they are a star and some depth away. They do definitely need a star to really help this team get to that next level, because the best teams in the NHL have so many threats to score goals that you need more. The fact that at this point in his career, Patrick Kane is not going to be a prolific 5-on-5 scorer. You're not going to have Dylan Larkin is never going to be that elite offensive weapon. You need that elite offensive weapon, at least until you have Lucas Raymond ready to take that next step to be truly elite. He's getting there, but he's not there yet. And that's where this team, you need Sherratt to be on your 3rd line. He should be here. He's not one of those guys who I'd want to get rid of. He still serves value, and he's a good 3rd line defenseman, but he's playing on the 1st line. He's getting overplayed on his minutes, and that's where the issue comes. We're overplaying guys in spots where we shouldn't play them. It's like the Lions, when the Lions had Cam Sutton, okay? Like, it's
Perfect
the best
example.
that we can do out there,
right?
But he's just a body at the end of the day. He's not gonna be there when we're ready to win and when we're ready to compete. And if you put anyone there who's better, everyone wants the rope on TA, but TA was a lot better than Cam Sutton.
Facts.
And that's
hard facts.
That's exactly
cold hard facts.
That's exactly where the Wings are right now. They just need to have some signings to step up into some higher level spots to really just give the depth a little bit more throughout the entire roster. That's what this team needs.
You know what, man? That was a thorough breakdown, and I'm really hoping this team steps right into the same type of success that we see. Now we can say that the Detroit Pistons have had, because they are now a playoff team.
Yes, sir.
Period. Stamped.
Indeed.
Official.
Stamped.
Finito. Hey, and you know what? Those Tigers, they are a playoff team. That's what's going to continue to encourage my hope in what they can do in their 2nd season, trying to make it back-to-back playoff appearances and improve. With these Detroit Pistons, though, I actually believe that this team can they can have the same type of success that we saw the Tigers have. But they do have 4 more games left. A lot of that is going to decide where exactly they are seated in these playoffs. And you know what? We want to talk about it in the next segment. What phrase should we say what up, though, to JBSmooovv?
We got to say what up to Buddy's Pizza.
Hey.
Best pizza in the motherfucking world, you mean?
Look at that.
On God's green earth, you mean?
Sounds like lunch, man. Hey, Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. And 79 years later, they have 22 locations in the state, the great state of pure Michigan. And fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10%. You guys, make sure you save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford, Buick, and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision Avenir for $299 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $229 per month. Ooh, that's a great deal. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $799 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford, Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
Hey, what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward and Chat family. You guys are on one today. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, go on ahead and smash that like button. Hit the subscribe, man. We appreciate all of the support. And I was just about to throw it over to JBSmooovv for some super chat when our friend from the north in Canada, he's restoring the image that I have of Toronto and their fans and their people there.
The best women in North America.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Hold on, I think I got it.
Eliseo?
Alicio Lalanage.
Hey.
Lalanage.
Shout out another $24.99. We appreciate it, Brody. And I was just going to get back to you because I saw you drop the $279 in there. We appreciate that. He is a Detroit sports fan in Toronto, so big shout out to you. Welcome to the platform, man. I hope you stick around and check the brothers out. But, man.
Definitely, man. Hey, the support is it continues to be what drives us most. That's what we do this for, and to see this platform and this family continue to grow, to see the reception we got. I remember the opening day shows. I've been at all of the Woodward Sports Detroit Tigers opening day shows. This was one of those years where people were walking by and they knew who we were as a company, as a group, as a brand, as what we try to represent on sports coverage. And you know what? And then they also were showing up like, yo, I'm chat family member this person, or I'm chat family member this, and we were able to even feature some of them across the show. So I'm telling you guys, the support that you all give to us is ultimately what
I'm just making sure
takes us to the next level. But you know what? Before we talk Pistons, we have to satisfy that like button, man.
Oh,
we just have to
hold on. Mike is my mic on?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just making sure.
Everybody's winning right now, man. All the vibes is April in the D. We're going to have to just go ahead and just lay it down. It's been a long weekend.
Hey, that's one thing I'm good at doing is laying it down now.
Hey. Tell them about it.
Hey, the song's skipping, but it don't matter, man. We going to skip to the Lou on this screen, man. So just go ahead and hit that like button real nice and real smooth, man. It's a chilly day outside. It's time to warm up with the WUW Crew, baby. Come on.
Hey, smash that like button. If anything, for those Detroit Pistons,
yes,
man,
sir.
one of the best teams in all of the NBA since January 1st. They even got much better after the trade deadline, man. Shout out to the Pistons. The metrics, the overall kind of depth that you get with a Dennis Schroeder, and it's all culminated in the Detroit Pistons now winning more than triple the amount of games that they had in their previous season. They are the first team to do that in back-to-back 82-game seasons.
Amazing.
The Hornets did it, but the first season they only played 66 games. They won 7. The next season they played 82 games. They won 21. It's reason to believe maybe they win another game in that 7-game season. So the Pistons hold a distinct honor of tripling their win total over 3, but they didn't just do it marginally. They went from out of the playoffs, 14 games, to making the playoffs. The first team in NBA history to do that as well. So the Detroit Pistons, underneath JB Bickerstaff, underneath the guidance and the singular voice of a Trajan Langdon, has not just pulled themselves into postseason, but they're giving a lot of Detroit Pistons fans hope for what they can do once they get there as well. And that is what they have to play for right now. It is the seeding. The Pistons find themselves in 6th place after dropping the game to the Memphis Grizzlies. They were not at full strength as Jalen Duren didn't play that last game, which is a huge, especially as we've seen him step up. KG calls him the number 2 on the squad. He wasn't there, but Cade Cunningham did return. But the Pistons fall. Desmond Bane had quite a game, but this was the game after they clinched the division. They do take on the Sacramento Kings tonight, which is the first of their last 4 games of the season. They have the Kings, they have the Knicks, and then they end back-to-back games against the Bucks. The first 3 all at home. I expect Pistons fans to pack this thing out, and then they end the season against the Bucks. So the seeding is going to be decided whether they're playing the Knicks in the first round or whether they're playing the Pacers in the first round. Through each one of these, what I'm going to call to be adrenaline-filled games.
Yeah, and I actually got a little bit of pushback, believe it or not, from one of our more rigid members in the chat. Shout out Matthew Kruger, man. We do value you, although some of your comments be a little wild.
I don't be on Facebook as much, but when I do, it is nice to see him hitting me up with different content and such. It's like, I rock with him.
No, I appreciate it, man. Come downtown, bro. It's not as scary as you think. But he says in the chat, come on, bro. You cannot purposely tank for 3 years and then talk about a miraculous comeback, because it's not. They're just putting forth an effort this year instead of going for a draft pick.
Hater.
I think that they're just underneath better direction right now. I believe that Tom Gores, if he was duped by Monty Williams, he was duped, but I do believe his intention was to put a coach on the sideline to win. Dwayne Casey had just come off a Coach of the Year in Toronto, and he did make the playoffs with the Pistons, and he was the coach the next year after. Troy wasn't able to hire his own coach while he was here, and that was a situation to where you start to realize, without having that singular voice that we talked about in Trajan Langdon, the basketball operations were all over the place.
It was,
You have Arn Tellem, who I believe is a very, very great asset and great basketball mind for this organization, and just in basketball globally, period. He's represented a lot of players, both here, American-wise, as well as on the global market. From Bojan Bogdanovic to Tobias Harris to Blake Griffin to Kobe Bryant is one of his most famed that he represented. But maybe he just wasn't the best at basketball operations. And then you got Tom Gores, who took a big step out of some of these operations and being a part of some of these decisions and leaving it in the hands of a Trajan, who did what? Instantly brought a front office in and a development staff even before he brought in the coach.
Exactly.
Fred Vincent was here before that. They brought in people to work the contracts and to understand how the cap sheets and new ones work. Why is that important? Because they utilized that strategy to get Dennis Schroeder for effectively free. So they're operating at just a different level right now. And then you bring in a coach like a JB Bickerstaff, who, just like Monty, had the history of turning a team from no playoffs to playoffs very quickly. But JB Bickerstaff, my first conversation with him versus any conversation I had with Monty was 10 times better.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be real with you, and that's no shade or disrespect to Monty.
It's
but
real.
This team is actually now, they struck gold on the coaches. They struck gold on their front office. And honestly, they struck gold on the vets. That's what they needed, because obviously Troy made the right draft picks, or else we wouldn't be sitting here talking about a playoff team right now. But ultimately, that to me is where this squad is. I think that they were trying. They tried,
yeah.
But it just didn't come together at all.
The development wasn't there. The proper signing of veterans wasn't there. And listen, Matt, like, I don't agree with them trying to tank for Wemby either. I didn't necessarily agree with them coming out in the media and pretty much saying, yeah, we're tanking. But you got to realize there are caveats to what the Pistons situation was. And if anything that this year should have taught you is that this wasn't a 14-win team last year. But because shit was so poorly run for all those years, and like you said, the balance of power, was it really with Troy or was it the Tellums really calling the shots? We don't really know, but it was until Trajan came into this building. It was until Tom Gores took responsibility for some of the things he did in the past, and as Neil likes to say, cut the check more than what any other owner has done in this town. You got to give him credit for that, man. And listen, it's tripling your win total is no small feat. I don't think we should take that lightly, and I understand you may not have liked how they've gotten here, but they are here now. They are a competent franchise. They're one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, and we have to start putting respect on this team as such. Cade Cunningham has taken that next leap into superstardom, I believe. The rest of the team around him has developed, and they're playing well as far as the core players, and you have the proper veterans in the building. They can go out there and make some noise in this playoff run. So as a fan, you should just enjoy it, man. Listen, we know how bad this product has been for over a decade, bro, but we are finally here, and we on a free roll right now, so let's just enjoy it, bro. That's all I would say.
You know, and we do know who was running it, because it's been well reported that when Troy was hired, it was under Ed Stefanski, who's still with the organization. Yeah. Who was under Arn Tellem, and those guys were making the decisions. And some of them worked. They, obviously Blake Griffin, how do they get him here? Well, he's being represented by the people connected to the Tellems.
And LA didn't want to pay him that money, but continue.
and it worked out for a playoff appearance, and Tellem was here for that.
Yeah.
How do we get a Tobias Harris? How was it the worst kept secret on the market for 2 years? Well, his connection to the agency that's connected to Tellem.
Yeah.
And this one worked out much better than Bojan, who Arn Tellem represented. So we got a clear kind of case of what probably was going on from the top of the organization, and that's why I continue to say having a Trajan Langdon here has helped to simplify things. And Tom Gores even said that at the intro. He said, look, this is to bring a singular voice and focus to our basketball operations. They even went and brought in a president of business operations for the Detroit Pistons, and Melanie Harris, who worked with Nike and Jordan brand and everything as well, just to separate all that. Just so that Trajan and his office can focus solely on basketball, and anything else dealing with branding, take that completely out of that office. And that's where you see now people like Dwayne Casey, who's doing both scouting and then doing some of that stuff with the business operations underneath Melanie Harris and such, and what they're doing in the community. So I believe that there's a lot more structure, a lot more focus, and that's where, even with the coaches, they brought in a lot more assistants, and they brought in some more development coaches, and now you see these players working on things. What was I telling you guys to start the season? More so than any of my other 4 years and of being in that practice facility and seeing this team go through shoot-arounds and such, I'm seeing them not being pushed, where I'm seeing the coaches agitate Jalen Duren on his individual workouts. So instead of just letting him kind of hit the left and go middle and finger roll, they're like, bro, you ain't dunked that.
Right.
And if he's going for the layup, I see him give a little push, and he gets pissed, and then he goes right back, and then he's dunking it. But then what does that lead to this season? So now we see that there's better development here, better coaches here who honestly understand what's going on. Well, the Detroit Pistons, and we saw Jalen Duren with some personal growth as one of the youngest players in the NBA, say, I was playing on some soft-ish. I think you need the right mix of veterans and the right leader as a coach to be able to get that through to some of these young players. And the Pistons, 540 total dunks by the Pistons this season. It's the most in the NBA, 6.9 per game. They're led by Jalen Duren's 212 slams, which ranks second in the NBA. 59 of those dunks have been alley-oops, assisted by Cade Cunningham, which is the most from a duo in the NBA this season. They are Lob City. Yeah. Cade and Duren.
Lob City East.
And the stats back that up. They have the number one lob connection by the numbers. Asar Thompson is second on the squad and 17th in the NBA with 104 dunks. And Tobias Harris, third on the team with 56 dunks. And what we were saying about what we wanted to see out of Asar last year, more cuts, more rim runs, more dives, more filling the empty space. Let him cut behind when Cade or Jalen Duren or somebody is absorbing the gravity. And we're seeing this team punch it home, literally and figuratively, man. Hey, that dude, Justin, how have you felt about these Pistons? 4 games left. The way this thing dictates down the stretch, they're either going to be playing the Knicks or the Pacers, but overall, this team has taken some formidable steps forward and finally put it all together on 3 different levels, from coaching, front office, to the personnel.
I mean, they're in a free roll right now, technically. I mean, they have figured everything out. They have proven that they have a future going forward and that they will be a powerhouse in the East for the next couple of years. They have everything from the top down, like you just said, from ownership all the way down to the bench contributions you're getting from guys like Sasser and Hardaway. Like this team is really showing a lot of great things right now, and it's really like revitalized my love for Pistons basketball. I can't tell you the last time I watched a game before this year, but I've tuned in, I've watched it. Cade's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is, and I mean, all the videos I see from Kool-Aid, downtown when the Pistons are playing looks to be
crazy. People are showing up. The lines are really, really backing up at each of the entrances, man. I know you see it, Willie B. You're down there. The garages and just the traffic is getting crazy as well.
And the dumbass questions for the customers talk about, you got Apple Pay?
Big Willie bad.
That make the law. That hold the line too. When you had a customer say, "Here, they have cash in their pocket, a lot full of cash, and don't have a credit card," and it said, "Can you do tap for their phone?"
Look, bro. Listen, Piston fans are just showing up. They
don't know. They don't know, man. It's been so long, bro.
Most of do know because they been there a couple of times. But we got an old credit card machines since the Little Caesars brought it open. Then the question's been asked is it's not advanced. Our card machine is not advanced. Just get a physical credit card.
Yeah, man, breaking it down.
But you know what? It's because of this, though. It's because of this. I got some other notes I want to read before we get into everybody's favorite segment. There's a lot of notes here, especially since February 1st, who this Detroit team has been. Since February 1st, the Detroit Pistons boast the 5th highest net rating in the league in February and have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA since, man. Listen to this. Since February 1st, the Detroit Pistons are a top 5 team. They trail only Oklahoma City Thunder, the Boston Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Golden State Warriors, and then it's your Detroit Pistons who fall at 5. They have 118 offensive rating, just behind the Golden State Warriors, who have 118.5. Their defensive rating is 110.2, which out of this top 5 would net the Pistons at number 3 defensive rating in all of the NBA. Damn. And so their net and their overall record during that span, 19 and 11 for those Detroit Pistons. And then here's another stat here. Detroit is 29 and 17 since January 1 and are 3rd in the NBA with a 110 defensive rating in that stretch. This is Detroit's most wins. We talk about how long it's been. This is Detroit's most wins in a 46-game span since the going to work Pistons, 2007 to 2008.
So what are we talking about?
That era.
I told you this is the best Pistons team since 08, 09, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
But remember when I made my face, you were like, wait, but Kool-Aid, I was like, no, I think since 07, 08.
You did say that.
Then I saw the stats this morning, I was like, oh, snap. Yeah. They're really doing what those teams did. And you know what? Hopefully they work that success in reverse, because what's next is a championship caliber team. Yeah, that's what I believe, man. And there's so many other numbers here that I can read. I like them being first in points in the paint since February 1st. That's crazy. Like that. With 57.9 in the game. 5th in fewest opponent points in the paint, 45.8. So they get busy on both ends of the floor, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this Detroit Pistons team, it's awesome to see these young players really be some of the catalysts for leading the charge with these stats. And it's allowed the vets to play some very, very strategic and specialist type roles. I got to shout out Malik Beasley, and I want to hear a little bit more from UKG. Yeah. Malik Beasley's franchise record, 301 three-pointers made this season, is the 8th most in a season in NBA history. He joined Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, James Harden, and Anthony Edwards as the only players to make 300 triples in a season. Wow. And he has made multiple threes in a franchise record 27 straight games, the longest of his career and second longest in the NBA this season, behind Trey Murphy at 28. So
impressive.
This team, amazing. From the young players to the vets, to the young star in Cade Cunningham, the new star, to the coaches, everything is coming to roses for this team. And if the trends are to be believed, they have a good opportunity as the playoffs are approaching to actually make some noise.
This is why fans like Matt Kruger, I would just tell you to enjoy this, because much like Neil loves to say, shout out Big D Energy, this is a free roll right now. There will be expectations on this team going forward, considering that their turnaround was so damn quick. I mean, this was billed as a 2 to 3 year possible rebuild or retooling for this team, and they've got it done in year 1, bro.
Without Ivy.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of that was due to Cade taking an even greater step than what he took last year. Your veterans stepping up in big ways, actually contributing to this team in a lot of ways. You brought up Malik Beasley, and I'll continue to say it. He has been a different player. He was always good, but he has given us his best as a Detroit Piston. You love to see that. Pay that man in the offseason.
The Bucks are missing him.
$6 million a year.
Whatever you got to do, pay that man in the offseason. Tobias Harris, listen, I apologize. I didn't necessarily think that was the right move. I didn't think that was the right move in the offseason. But when you look at just where they were, it wasn't a lot of options for this team. But the leadership that he's exuded since coming back and just picking up his level of play and being that consistent, third option for this offense has been amazing, bro. And I can't speak to the level of young talent on this team that have taken the step up. Ron Holland has been great in his rookie season. I expect better things from him. Asar Thompson, since coming back from the blood clot, has looked amazing. He looks like a two-way threat for years to come.
You said Asar Thompson, two-way threat for years to come. You talking about the one that has 84 steals by Asar Thompson since January 1st is the second most in the NBA, only behind Dyson Daniels.
Wow, bro.
Oh, hold on. I have more here, man. Asar racked up 3 steals versus Toronto for the 16th time this season. The sixth most such games in the league, and Thompson has averaged 1.9. You're going to like some of these names. 1.9 steals per game in 44 outings since January 1, joining Ben Wallace, and I told y'all this name, Andre Drummond, as the only Pistons with such a span since 2000.
Damn.
No, that's true. You schooled me on Drummond, too. I ain't think he was getting down defensively like that. I was watching it. I just didn't see it. But, man. And then just even down to guys like Marcus Sasser, who, his role has been ever-changing this whole year, but he's been ready at every single step of the way, bro. Even after bringing in a Dennis Schroeder, he didn't let that discourage him, and he continues to be ready for this team. And then, once again, the trade of Dennis Schroeder, genius by Trajan Langdon, man. That was the existential pickup for this team that they needed for this playoff push. I am so excited about this team, and there's so many different ways that, you can be excited about this team. Will they win a playoff series is yet to be determined, but you got to at least have belief that they can get it done.
I think that they can get it done, man. I know we're going to have a NBA playoff preview show as well for these Detroit Pistons. It's in the works. I will definitely share more details as we get closer, but my goodness, if you could just get what you got out of Fontecchio when you first traded for him.
Man, what?
If they should find that Fontecchio in the playoffs, their ceiling is a little bit higher in this first round.
He's literally the only person on the team that's been questionable this year. Everybody else is like, they've given you something. I
got a quick question for you, too.
Yes, sir.
And I'm curious if you guys believe that if Jaden Ivey didn't go down, would all these guys, the Cade, Malik, Thompson, Holland, all make that big of a step forward if he's in the lineup?
That's a good question.
50 wins.
I do believe so, because you look at what they were doing when he was there, and a lot of these guys were still performing, and what you saw was, and we talked about it earlier, is now the pressure is off to have, remember, the talent level before was Cade and Ivy have to be on.
Right.
Or Ivy and Bojan have to be on.
Yep.
Or Alec Burks and player this have to be on. Now you have a situation where you're not going to be on every night. And it's allowed these guys to just kind of ride the season without, like Tim Hardaway and the stuff he was sharing with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
He couldn't go on a cold stretch. But here you saw these players really complement each other. And even with Ivy down, Marcus Sasser stepped up.
Yep.
Marcus Sasser is the one filling in more of those Ivy minutes.
Yep.
So it's like if Ivy was here, Marcus Sasser is probably the one who would hurt the most. But those other players like Ron Holland and Malik Beasley, if you remember earlier in the season, they were still playing and getting. And Holland, I thought, was actually getting more minutes after about the first week or two of the season than he did once the season got going. After Ivy, they locked into more of a smaller lineup, and it reduced some of his minutes. So I do believe if Ivy is here, it actually bodes better for the Pistons. And I do believe going forward, you see him kind of shooting, you see him running a little bit, you see him jogging. He's been putting up some cryptic posts on socials and such. Some people wonder if he's going to make it back this year. But for me personally, I just want to see him go out next season and in a big contract year, go out there and prove to be the player that I think he can be in healthy.
No, absolutely. Justin, to answer your question, I do still think that they would be doing this with Ivy here just because, everybody took a step up this year. Ivy as well, man. From 3-point percentage, defensively, field goal percentage, getting to the basket. Everything has improved for Jaden Ivey this year, and he was the second leading scorer on this team before he went down. Yep. But I will also say that his absence has helped a lot of these younger guys in just terms of getting that experience. If Jaden Ivey was still here, I don't know if Asar Thompson gets those consistent starter minutes that he's been able to get, and that's helped his development like tenfold. There are a lot of different subtle changes that these
knock Hardaway out of there.
No, not at all. But there are like subtle changes that have been made to this Pistons lineup that has only helped the guys that weren't getting as many minutes with Ivy being kind of in the mix. So no, I think that going into next year, and listen, if he plays in this playoffs, cool. If he doesn't, cool. I just want him to be healthy because I do feel like he is still a very important piece to this team. He will be your number 2. I'd say that Duren is the number 2 right now, but when Ivy comes back, I expect him to take that mantle back. And you just want him to go out there, and since that the Ivy Cade fit appears like it can work, I would like to see more of that because this year, and people love to say, oh, when Ivy went down, that's when the success started. Well, no, Ivy went out there and got you at least 2 wins by him damn self.
Yeah, he held it together while the team offense was struggling, while Tobias Harris was struggling, while Asar Thompson wasn't there.
Yes.
While Jalen Duren admittedly said, during that time I was playing on some soft-ish. Mm-hmm. That was literally a time where it was like Malik Beasley and then one of the vets, Tobias no, Tim was actually started the season hot. If it wasn't for Tim and what we were getting out of Ivy, because Cade started a little slow. He was getting numbers, but efficiency-wise, he was started a little bit slow. There was a lot of like Beasley, Ivy, Hardaway to start that season, and Isaiah Stewart, who was just playing out of his mind to start the season. And then those other guys started to get back. They had a little bit of stretch where Cade and Ivy looked really, really good together, and it's because a lot of things that you see with a Jaden Ivey, they increased his usage rate this year to 26%, which was the highest of his career. And you know what? His turnovers went to 16.1% in terms of his turnover rate. The assists, 19.8% in terms of the assist rate. But what I love here is the true shooting. It's the highest that it ever was in his career at almost 57% per game, up from 53% his rookie year, 54% the second year. Now he's up to 57, and that second year is 53.6. Mm-hmm. So he's up a large amount of percentage points, and we saw that as it related to his three-point shooting, taking a big leap forward in terms of consistency and hitting a good 36% of threes, and sometimes had some really, really hot stretches. He was reliable.
Yeah.
He was dishing the rock, and I do believe when you get someone like that back, that only bodes better for your team because he wants to do whatever for this team. When they ask him to go to the bench, when they ask him to not play, when they ask him to start, when they ask him to fill in for point, he just does whatever they ask him to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the jump from 33% to 40% is a huge jump, especially for an NBA player.
Yeah, I know, crazy, right? What a concept, Weezy D313. You keep pushing this Ivy hate agenda. I don't hate Ivy, bro. Never have, dog. Was there questions coming into the year? Obviously. We were a 14 fucking win team last year.
He was effective 41% three-point shooter.
40.9.
Yeah. And for a long time, the Cade Cunningham was catching it seemingly and making off-ball three-point shots only from Jaden Ivey for a while. And so I like the mix. That downhill action from a guard spot, there's not a lot of guards who's going to stay in front of him. He's going to have the opportunity to run up, something that I love, that free throw rate. That's what I love about Jaden Ivey. He's going to get an opportunity to get your team into the penalty very, very quickly. So.
Yeah. And he's to go back to the three-point as well, his opportunity has gone up as well. He's averaging more three-point shots per game, and he's more field goals per game too, and his field goal percentage has gone up 5 points as well. So I mean, he really has
the efficiency.
Wow,
for him.
Yeah. He improved. Wow,
you know crazy when you bring in a guy like Fred Vincent. What will happen to a team when he's not called the shot? What is he called? The shot? What is his nickname?
I don't even know what we call him, and we can call him the shot god though, because that dude is going out there and just doing this thing for this team. And you see it, man. Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, even Ivy. They just have more consistent, less stressful looking shots. I used to feel bad looking at players like Asar shoot the rock because he looks stressed out. Now he just looks like this is what I do, whether the shot's falling or not. And that's the first step towards a good jumper. And having that confidence through the season, that's what boosts the players in the offseason. When they go into the offseason, they have the time to just focus specifically on these 1 or 2 traits to improve on. I believe next year is where we're going to really see the fruits of the Fred Vinson labor with guys like Ron Holland, Asar Thompson, Jaden Ivey. I see Marcus Sasser work with him, and we see Marcus Sasser being more consistent now with his shot making and his scoring than we had prior. So,
and what was I telling you all off season? Either Asar or Ron needed to learn how to shoot, bro. If you can get just one of them, and I think it'll be more Ron than Asar, but if you can just get one of them to shoot in the 30s, oh my God.
Yeah, I think you want to get a little bit more Ron than Asar, because Asar, both of those guys still score from the perimeter, but Asar, he's that player that I've seen. He dribbles it twice, and I remember it looked like he was trying to run a play, and everybody cleared out ISO for him. He looked,
took off
to the left hand, and he backed down from the perimeter. I'm like, oh, like 2 dribbles, backed all the way down and did his little spin and shot. And I was just like, golly, man. Like, they got something, man. But we got to get in everybody's favorite segment. What reads do we have, JBSmooovv?
We got to hear from Loom and Mark White.
Loom, man. Hey, shout out to the good people at Loom, bro. Cannabis Co. always taking care of the boys. You already know Loom Cannabis Company, but did you know that they've got all the brands that you love now for less? What? With unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program in the state, period, point blank. Loom is the premier destination for new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of their 38 locations. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your order. Listen, it's a bad economy, y'all. Save money in any way you can. 30% off ain't nothing to sneeze at, online or in store, and you can get all that by going to loom.com.
And Mark White.
Mark White.
You're gonna need somewhere to consume, so why aren't you dreaming of a new home?
Stop doing it in your car, man. Go get a house.
Yeah, exactly. But feeling that financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet of Novi, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer and the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 6 consecutive years. They have lots of good deals this month. You can get a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew for just $199 a month. You can also get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $249 a month. Come see George Hawes and his team at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
And
after you pick up your new car and you're safely at home because don't consume as you drive, you can... What? KG here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're participating.
Damn. He became a brother quick.
You know what it means. I'm gonna be feeling good for opening day. Mad Packs is gonna take your game to the next level. High Low is getting you high for the low, developing top tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka!
Hey!
Boom Shakalaka is a live resin infused tarantula. This one is the bomb. Blizzard packs THCA moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to the select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all your latest updates on your Boom Shakalakas.
Hey!
They
were downtown with us at the Grand Slam Fest.
Big shout out.
Just enjoying it. It was dope. Them watching the WUW Crew do our thing. And they stepped up on stage and said what up, though, too, as well, man. All of our sponsors who helped to make this stuff possible, just as much as you, Chat Family, it goes such a long way. And Chat Family, if you ever gotten the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button.
Yeah, and we had a lot of chat members down there with us there at opening day. Shout out to Nitty Gritty, bro, who took the time to, take a picture with us, talk to us about a lot of different stuff. He was cool as hell, man. And just shout out to everybody that joined us down there, man. It was a hell of a time. Hell of a time.
Oh, man,
yeah, I need to shout out someone real quick. Shout out Dayton. I met him in the Home Plate Club. He was like, "Hey, I listened to your guys' shows, all the shows.
Hey,
he told me I was a great addition to the network. So I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed all the Detroit victories this weekend. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, my man.
Kool-Aid 1957 as well, who hung out all day.
Yeah. Shout out to him too. Yeah,
it was dope, man. Just to be able to drop by. I know we interviewed a couple people that were Chat Family members. I saw one that went and left a comment on our Friday show as well, stating, thank you guys for that experience. It was so cool. His girlfriend and his pops were there, and they were like ecstatic for him, man. So shout out.
I didn't get a chance to see King Tate, but shout out to him as well.
Yeah, I heard he showed up.
I see a little strife in the chat. You got my boy Kool-Aid having to explain himself during the break, man. And listen, Terrell Lamar, we good, dog. I don't know where it went wrong. Listen, I have admitted I was wrong. I don't have a need to be right like some people at this network. I have admitted I was wrong multiple times about wanting Ivy to come off the bench.
I did a whole Sadiq Bey song. I believed in Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, but
I was so wrong.
Listen, man, the shit happens, bro. But by no means am I just saying, oh, I work at Woodward Sports, so I'm correct. Like, not by any means, bro. But if you listen to what Justin said, he read off the numbers. There was an improvement there, and there needed to be an improvement with Jaden Ivey. That's all that I am saying. But I've never ran away from the fact that I was wrong, and I'm happy to be fucking wrong that Jaden Ivey wasn't a fucking 6-man candidate, and I'm glad he's the number 2 on this team when he comes back. Like, stop it, Joe.
Talk your shit.
We'll be
KG.
wrong on things, man. We definitely will. But you know what, JB? Let's give them at least an abbreviated what's trending today before we shut things down. Shout out to Gavassier Chase in the building.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the replay of Chase coming and going.
Here, just say what up, though. Just give the people a little. Come over here, bro. I love
Come on, Cavassier.
My boy Chase with the braids. My boy Ghetto Chase. Ghetto Chase.
In the building, man.
What's up?
Feel
like we're out vocal.
Flannel, man. That's the only other one missing, I think,
Smooth
this morning,
operator.
man.
Yeah, I didn't. I popped on when I was at the zoo. I saw Justin in the chair. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's give them that abbreviated one. A little bit of overtime this morning, and then we'll get out of here. I always am intrigued if we're getting some more TGT.
Yeah,
I got you.
No stick. I don't swing and miss a lot. I can't say the same about you though, but appreciate that.
Up here, tracted it.
Oh man, you crazy. All right, I'm gonna skip over the intro for you guys just because we're getting into overtime a little bit right now. Just know all these people are okay. Just a little bit of bruised ego.
JBSmooovv,
So,
what's trending? Let's rock.
I can't tell if you have a shitty friend and teammate or they're just hilarious.
Oh! Well, he was trying to stop her though. Like she just was in the zone. She ain't paying attention. Who put that there? Like why is that right there? Like it makes no sense.
That's crazy. She landed right in it.
Yeah,
Probably. That was perfect. I bet that didn't even hurt. I bet she literally landed in it perfect.
The people are probably like, do it again. Golly. You're right, because that feels like it could have went so much worse.
Yeah. Imagine if she would have split the trash can.
Yeah, that.
Ooh, damn.
She would have split the trash can.
Hey, man. That's heavy.
Kool-Aid, you good?
You all right, Kool-Aid, man? It's all good, man.
I don't know if he is.
There's so many ways that could have gone worse. Like the feet go in, kick the trash can over, she falls straight in her face. It goes backwards, she hits the back of her head. I mean, this is best case scenario.
But well landed.
Yeah, she landed it.
You give her a 9.5.
I can give her a 10 for landing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
The landing is on point.
I don't think the person trying to stop her did enough. She's like, no. She didn't look. She's sprinting.
Almost
that's
like
a nice
he
jog.
wasn't gonna catch her though, or she wasn't gonna catch her.
A brisk jog down the that's not running for him. You got to have longer
My man
strides.
Justin said she wanted to see the chaos.
I think she wanted to see the fail.
I think
she didn't even drop her pom poms. If she really cared, she would have dropped the pom poms.
Well, real friend, you would have dropped the pom poms.
Give your life, damn it.
My man, that dude Justin.
Like I said, I think everyone is okay in all these videos. Just a little bit of a bruised ego. Just know, back in the gym once again. Remember always to lock in.
Lock in. Oh, tight. Be control.
Oh, come on. Lock in.
Oh my god!
I mean, the motivation was there, like the catcher said. Bro didn't lock in.
Lock in, but you got to fall back.
If someone's telling you to lock in when you're already starting your squat, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, no, that's
they see the vision of failure. They see the vision of failure.
He locked in, but he had to lean back.
They know it was too much goddamn weight on that, man. Too much weight.
They were like, lock in.
Lock
Right.
in. Lock in. You got this. Lock in.
Lock in. My man look like Ernest goes to camp talking about lock in. Ernest got a fishing boat talking about lock in. Right. The old school heads know about Ernest, bro.
Yeah, Ernest a classic back in the day.
Ernest and Airbud, bro. Classic, bro. Classic.
Airbud.
Also, way delayed reaction by the spotters. Shout out for
that's a fact.
Xavier D for pointing that out. These spotters are just sitting there like you're seeing him like shake. Like, well, that's the sign. Like, all right, maybe we should help the cat. No. Just let him fall back and absolutely embarrass himself. Hopefully, this is at a private gym, not at a public gym. I'd never work out again if that happened to be a public gym.
Hopefully it is. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. You just want a nice, peaceful day at the gym, but once again, there's always chaos.
All right, stop, bro. Stop.
Go!
Come on, dog.
And that's the result.
Whoa!
Yeah. Oh shit!
Damn, the fucking.
I hope that wasn't my man's actual car. I hope that's just a picture for the video.
It was someone's car outside. I don't think
God,
it was his.
Damn.
Sure. Dang, that is wild.
Yeah, that's
that
tough.
happened last Saturday at work. Okay.
Why are you doing it so much? What? Oh, sorry, I'm in like lost. I don't know how that happens.
In a park car too.
I don't think that picture is like from. If it is, that's crazy. But I don't think that's actually like
there's no
what happened.
glass right there. There's no window.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I guess it could be to the right, but
that don't look like a gym though.
Why
but
the machine on the opposite corner?
I could be wrong, but that's just not smart, bro. Like,
what are you doing? Yeah, that's
like I said. What are you guys doing? Tough guys in training out here, but that's it for what's trending, you guys.
Hey, man, you know what? I think everybody gets a shirt today. Goodness gracious, man. TGT. And as always, JBSmooovv, you're cooking up. Thank you for what you do. Finding those clips, making us laugh, and consistently everybody's favorite segment of the day. But I think that's a show. We're going to break it down, man. Definitely shout out and word to our brother Flannel Sam. We missed you this morning. I know that he's celebrating still and probably recovering from White Sox weekend, man.
And his boy Riley Green went crazy. Flannel had a great weekend.
He had a great weekend.
He sure did.
So many dubs. And honestly, you factor in Michigan continuing to just tear up the portal transfer trail. I know that was definitely ecstatic, man. But shout out to you, brother, our vet of the network, vet of the squad, man.
Before we break this down, shout out to Western Michigan Hockey.
Damn right.
Frozen 4 on Thursday. and we are going for the Natty. We just beat Denver, who we match up with in the Frozen Four a couple weeks ago in the NCHC. Oh, and we beat them in overtime, second overtime, to beat them to win that tournament. Right. So we're going for it again. We're going to beat Denver, and then we're going for the Natty. Western Michigan, the best hockey team, college hockey team in the state of Michigan. Even though we lost to Michigan State this year, doesn't matter. Still the best team.
That's right. Suck it, Neil. Suck it, Neil. He can rep both teams if he wants to. Stand on business, Justin.
Sir. Yes, sir. And hey, Neil, this is also why Western spends money on hockey and not football.
We're
about to
get it. Oh, Neil finna have a rough day, bro. I'm all on Javi as soon as he get through the door, bro. As soon as he get through the door.
I'm gonna be tuned in the entire hour. I'm so excited.
He finna have a field day today.
Bro, let's get that chest pass.
Oh.
Why put that heat on there? I like that.
Okay.
Hey, that's what the WUW Crew does, especially when we're powered by you, chat family, and all of the supporters out there, the super chats. Those of you who've hit the like button, if you did get a chance, definitely go ahead and hit that like button. Everybody that's leaving chats and comments and supporting everybody else on the network, man. We support you guys so much, man. It's been a great show at Wake Up Woodward. Shout out again to our brother Flannel Sam. That dude Justin, the other half of Woodward Wings with Flannel Sam. Great show today, brother.
Thank you. Shout out to everyone in chat. It was great talking to you guys. Had some great conversations about hockey, and it's just a pleasure. Shout out to KG, big bro. Let me hop up here. I appreciate it so much.
No problem, bro.
Kool-Aid, my mentor. I appreciate you. And shout out to Willie. Shout out to Jay Bizzle.
Shout out to you,
I
man.
hooked up JB and KG with a couple flannels from the game.
Yeah, man. I'm wearing mine tomorrow.
And then shout out
flannel endorsement.
Shout out my boy Chase back there. I'm glad he was able to come through. I was a little bummed when he wasn't in here this morning. So glad I'm going to get to see my boy. And everyone have a great day. And hopefully the Red Wings can take care of some business. And hey, hopefully I walk in next time after celebrating a national championship.
Hey, that's right, man. This elite booth. We're gonna start over here with Willie B in the sound.
Big Willie style.
What's that right here? Man, it's been smooth. What a way to start Monday. What a way to go out there and talk about sports, talk about our last week. You know, let's keep it going, man. Let's enjoy the atmosphere and let's enjoy whatever it takes to make the sports brand awesome. To make any sports. City Detroit, like I said, and I'll say it again, the best sports fans in the world in Detroit, and I stand on it. And let's be honest, it's a sports town, and we represent every day, all day.
Hey, let's rock, man. Willie B. And we got Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. What up, though, JBSmooovv?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everyone staying tapped in with us today. Been an amazing show. I'll be down at LCA tonight. Kings, Pistons, get it done. Your favorite in this one as well, too. Florida, get it done as well, too. I need you to pull this one out of this national championship game as well. Red Wings, I got your back still no matter what. So, Tigers, I'm hopeful for you today. It's the Yankees.
They're going to be all right.
But I'm confident in you to get it done today.
We whooping New York ass.
As Willie said, we whipping New York's ass once again. Shout out to everyone staying tapped in, and let's have a good day.
Hey, have a good day. Detroit number one draft pick, that is KG. Rookie of the year. Got that MVP in the trophy case as well. What up, though, brother?
Hey, feeling good, bro. Shout out to, once again, Justin. I love seeing my homie Justin shine. Shout out to Nick Koloff, bro. You did hella great work. You are made for that Tigers role. Keep crushing, bro. And shout out to my team, man. Y'all know I love y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat that joined us. 400 strong today. Even shout out for our new viewers, man. Big shout outs to Alicio for the super chats. Really appreciate that, man. Let's keep this shit rolling. Go Tigers, go Pistons. Let's get it. Go Wings, man.
Let's get it. We got a little bit of April in the D today as well. The Tigers at 3:10 p.m. against the Yankees. Get it done. And then you got the Pistons tonight against the Kings at 7 p.m. at home. So Woodward Avenue is going to be jumping tonight. And I do believe our sports team has the opportunity to come away and enjoy it tonight. I believe Chelsea. It's your boy Brendan Dan K. Detroit Kool-Aid Producer, Pistons reporter and writer for the network. It's been a great show, man. Shout out to It's been a great show today, chat family. Thank you guys for all of the support. Hit the like button.
Yes.
Leave your comments. Continue to support, man. Find us on socials as well. And continue to be the biggest part of